Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Thanks for joining us for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Tiffany Lee. Let's get to some of the top stories. Many at home probably know this all too well. Parents sometimes relax bedtime during the summertime. That's why medical experts say that it's more important now to help your students fix their routine. We spoke with a doctor from Mercy Fort Smith who says that creating a bedtime routine will help students sleep on time. That can include bathing and brushing your teeth. He also suggests avoiding caffeine in the afternoon or electronics right before bed. He says that this can actually make it harder for them to fall asleep. He also says that there are many issues that make sleep important, even more than just waking up in the morning.
Lack of sleep can affect memory, so thinking, and just being able to process a lot of your tasks. If you're not getting enough sleep, you might be a little bit slow with certain aspects of your schoolwork.
So how exactly do you make that transition if those students have been sleeping super late? Well, he says to make small changes, as a sudden change could actually make it harder for kids to adjust. And now let's get a check of the weather for today and this weekend with meteorologist Zach Scott.
Hey, Tiffany, heat headlines back in the forecast for today for Benton, Washington, Madison, Carroll counties, northwest Arkansas, and then into Clarksville, down to Paris, Boonville, down to Waldron. We're talking Johnson, Logan, Scott counties. We have heat advisories for 105 to 110 degree feels-like temperatures. Excessive heat warnings for Crawford, Franklin into Sebastian County, and then Sequoia, LaFleur counties into eastern Oklahoma. These areas feels like temperatures even hotter, 110 to 115 this afternoon. A warm, steamy weekend is likely as we go through the next few days. Some cooler weather tries to come in with a front early next week. Something to look forward to there. Morning showers got out of here. We're looking for clearing skies. Some scatter clouds will mix in at times. Again, highs will be into the 90s area wide with the feels like temperatures 105 to 115 across 5 country. And then as we go into the overnight hours, we'll get another scattered shower chance to start coming back. Best chances will mainly be north of I-40. We're going to be watching that. How far south can this energy come? That's the big question. Again, we have a battle taking place across 5 country this weekend where we have high pressure from the south trying to increase and move into our area. And that's a blocking high usually when we see that. That means we're taking that high pressure, we're putting it in charge. We're not letting storm systems come in. So how far south are some of these disturbances going to be able to go? We're going to be watching them again Saturday and Sunday. Some storm systems are going to be close to us. Missouri overall has the better chance. We're going to try to get some of those to sneak a little bit further south. Can't rule out a pop-up shower in the afternoon anywhere across 5 country on Saturday. Again, best chances though overall, I think first half of the day and north of I-40 will have the best chance, something we'll keep our eyes on. But again, looking for early next week, a nice little cool down, some lower humidity trying to come in. Tiffany?
All right, thanks for that, Zach. Well, it can be a matter of life and death for anyone who has to pull over on the side of the road, especially along the interstate. A tow truck company tells us that crews were responding to a driver who needed help on I-49 near West Fork. That's when they say a car failed to move over and hit the driver who was waiting on the side of the interstate. Arkansas laws require drivers to move over or slow down if you can't change lanes when there's vehicles with flashing lights on the side of the road that belong to first responders, RDOT workers, and tow truck drivers. 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker tells us the dangers that people responding to calls like this face every day.
It's a matter of willpower. Hit the brakes or get over. And I'm not asking you to take 20 minutes out of your day. I'm asking you to save my life. I don't want to die out there, especially over a tire change.
Here you see a roadside towing services of Northwest Arkansas truck pulled over on the side of I-49 to help a driver. You'll notice a lot of cars aren't moving over to the left lane or slowing down. Shana Andresen has driven a tow truck for 20 years and feels that a lot of drivers don't move over because they aren't paying attention and are likely on their phones.
Once I pop my door and you're down here and I step out and you look up, it's over. And the wind has bent our doors forward. That's how close people get.
Andresen says they typically see more people not paying attention when the weather is nice. He says when it's raining or icy, people are typically more alert, but it's still very dangerous for them and anyone on the side of the road.
I purchase cones for the company. I order about 300 a year. 60 of them perish on the freeway because people run over these orange cones. And we put them out, and what we want you to do is get over.
Washington County Lieutenant Brett Hagan says the move over law has been on the books for a decade, and it's something they do enforce. He says in a lot of cases when they conduct traffic stops, the driver will sometimes tell them they were on their phone or they were somehow distracted.
There's really no excuse if somebody working in the scope of their duties, whether it be a tow truck driver or fire or law enforcement, there's not an excuse. You see the lights or you're not even looking down the road.
Well, just a reminder, the VA has extended the deadline to file your PACT Act claim to get backdated benefits. You now have until midnight on this coming Monday, August 14th, to file your claim or your intent to file. The VA says that due to high volume, some veterans have received error messages when submitting their intent to file PACT Act claims. But they also say that if you or someone you know has received one of these messages, don't worry. They say that they've logged your intent to file and saved your effective date for benefits. The PACT Act gives benefits for veterans who may have been exposed to toxic chemicals like burn pits or Agent Orange. You can still apply for benefits past the Monday deadline. It just won't be backdated. And if you're looking for a good deal this weekend, there are 160 miles of options for you along Highway 64. The 24th annual Bargains Galore on 64 is happening now. Vendors are setting up yard sales from the Van Buren area all the way to BB. That's where you'll find antiques, collectibles, clothes, and so much more. It started as a way for families to find affordable back-to-school clothes. And 24 years later, almost 20 cities are involved. Sandy Pruitt and her husband have been working as vendors for 12 of those years. She says not only is it fun to browse through all the treasures, the event helps many people in the community.
And the people are just trying to make a way, and a lot of older people do this to make extra money for the year, really.
The sales will continue today and tomorrow. To find out where all the different vendors are located, you can find the story on our website, 5newsonline.com. Thank you so much for joining us for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Tiffany Lee. Have a great day.